This immediately feels like this is not limited to a week ahead. This, I keep getting, it's like a 3-month thing. This is like a period of time. Oh, 3 months is through the end of the year. So it seems like that's what we're picking up on here is like, how do we close the year out strong? That's how, I don't know if that's something that you've been thinking about. It's about realignment. It's about, I don't know if, were you here for the collective readings? If you were, then the second card in reading number 1, which was like reflecting on your priorities, it's carrying a little bit of that. Like we're trying to fundamentally realign. I'm seeing like different pieces being shifted around. It almost looks like the game Traffic Jam, where it's like you move the cars and then you have to like move it in a certain way. It's a puzzle, so then you can actually get the piece out, like free the school bus or whatever it was. And there's a bit of that kind of shifting energy. There's different pieces that you're going to move this here and you're going to move that there, and they're all working in tandem together in order to get to where you want to go and have that realignment. So it's working through the puzzle of like moving this piece, moving that piece. Okay, I'm going to do this next. So there's a sense of a sequence that's happening as well, because it's not even necessarily that it's one thing at a time, because I'm seeing like you're spinning plates, but limiting the plates. So we're not like we're spinning a plate on each hand and we're spinning one on our foot and our nose. We have 2. So at any given time, we're making sure we're limiting the plates that we're spinning to 2 things. We have 2 eyes. Like that's kind of how it feels. Like we can't, like doing more than 2 is pushing it. At any given time, it could be 1, it could be 2, no more than that. So whatever initiatives, whatever things that you are trying to get moving, only up to 2, max 2 is what it keeps coming up. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to move this thing along. And then now I can kind of pause. There's like a little bit of a gap here in like, I don't need to execute the next thing for this right away. I can just keep it spinning and I can spare to like look away for a little bit and like work on this one. And I'm going to move this piece. Great. And then now I've made some progress there. And now I can come back here and I can move that piece. So it feels like we're oscillating a little bit. We're moving back and forth between these 2. Maybe we do a few steps in a row for the first one, and then we go back to the next one for 4th, and then we come back again, and then we're alternating. So whatever it is, we're limiting it to 2. These are initiatives that help us to like left, right. It's like it's also that it's giving us a forward motion. So it's almost as we make progress with one, we're taking a step with our left foot, and then we're taking a step with our right foot. And with everything, it's getting us closer and closer to the finish line of whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. But the thing that we really want to accomplish that's coming through, regardless of like what you actually have on your agenda that's like practical or due, is realignment. That's the theme. That's like your Q4 theme is realignment. In order to have spinning plates, you need to be balanced. You need to be aligned. Otherwise, they're just going to fall off. They're just spinning on your fingertips. So you have to be aligned. You have to be grounded. You have to be centered. And you can do that in a lot of different ways. It can be energetically. It can be getting things like shifting things in your schedule, not overbooking yourself. We have to create the space for alignment because we're going to be in this position for a while. Spin this plate, spinning this plate, doing something here, doing something there. And if we are all over the place, we're going to be wobbly. Not only the plate's going to fall, but we're going to fall over. I'm going to pause. I know I just went on for a long time, and I was seeing that you had some things popping up in the chat. Yes, I've been reflecting on my life and reevaluating everything. Yes, definitely. I have been overwhelmed. Yes, stick to 2. That's what's coming in. Stick to only 2 things. Everything you said is resonating. Okay, good. So, and this can be rhetorical. You don't have to tell me, but just, do you know what the things are that you could be spinning if you just limit it to 2? Because if you don't know the answer to that question, that's where you want to start. Pick what's plate number 1. What's plate number 2? What are the things that I'm choosing to spin for the rest of the year? Everything else, those are plates that go on the shelf, that go in the dishwasher. I'm picking just 2. Spinning those, alternating a little time here, a little time there. And I'm getting I can flip the card over. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, it's upside down. I was like, what the heck? Why does it look like that? All right, Jess, this is so perfect. I love this for you. New moon in Cancer, relax. Card saying, chill. We were talking about alignment. In order to be aligned, if you're spinning too many plates, you are overwhelmed, you are overburdened, they are going to drop, they're going to shatter. To have the alignment, you need to create balance. To create balance, you need structure, schedule. Cancer is one of those signs, in addition to Pisces, we were talking about for the collective reading. Cancer needs a little bit of structure because it needs support. Because similar to Pisces, it's sensitive, it's very, very, very intuitive. And so it's connecting to other people. It wants to caretake. It wants to help other people. Yes, I can spin that plate too. No, we cannot spin that plate too. We have to start saying no so that we have room to relax, to unwind. We're still going. We're still spinning things. We're not like completely passive. But we have to put the boundary in place. This was talking about reading number 1, definitely. Have to put the boundary in place, have to have those blocks so that we can give ourselves the gift of caretaking ourselves too, of not overburdening. There's no third plate, there's no fifth plate, only 2 plates. Also, I love this analogy here because Cancer is very associated with the home. So it's almost like it's a dinner party and we're taking the plates out and we're trying to spin them and we're trying to prepare the dishes, if you will. And it's like, okay, this just like needs to be a dinner for one, except I don't know, maybe one plate's the meal, one plate's the dessert or something, because it's supposed to be for us. This kind of excessive of, okay, well, I'll make them a plate too. Okay, I'll make it a larger portion. Oh, we're going to have more guests over. Like we are avoiding that because it will not relax us. Second reading, we were talking about, so first reading was talking about overwhelm. So I'm guessing because most things are tying to that, you more likely resonated with the first reading. But just to point out, possibility, if anything for reading 2 crops up for you. Reading 2 was, are you triggered? Are you activated? Are you fired up? Opposite of fire is water. So we have to put the fire out. So if you have anything in your life that is not just overwhelm, reading number 1, but is like frustrating you, it is like, oh my gosh, like this is, I would say burnout for that analogy. Burnout still goes into reading number 1, but this is just like, okay, this is so frustrating. I'm like beating my head into a wall. Like I'm so mad and agitated. We're talking about water and the original visual. And the original visual for that second reading, it was all water. So it was like, is the water simmering? Is the water boiling? And then is it getting past that? And now it's like we're feeling hot as if it's like evaporated. And then now we're on fire. We're in the flames. There's no water left. So we're pairing those 2 together. So you may be more in that first bucket, but in the event that anything is propping up, that you're recognizing it's not supporting the thesis for your rest of year, it's realignment. And we're going to do that by relaxing. Words are often associated astrologically with retrogrades, another re. We are reviewing. We are returning. We are redoing. We are revisiting, rewriting. Here we are relaxing and realigning. That's what you have. Let me know if you have any other thoughts. Wow, thanks. I've been emotional and just hard on myself the last week. I feel you. So I'm expecting that first reading like really hit home because what you're describing feels like it's spot on. That was amazing. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And again, this is the goal. We're not trying to do too much. We can still do things. That's great. Cancer, cardinal sign. It does want to start. It wants to move things forward. But it also has to connect to its intuition. And when our gut and our emotions are telling us something is wrong, that we have to release it. Reading number 1. We have to set the boundary. Cancer needs the boundary. Like, we need to create that space for us to take care of ourselves, to relax, release, prepare to renew, develop a system, a boundary to support continued maintenance, because we are realigning. This couldn't have fit better in with the first reading. Because everything that applies to the two of them, like Cancer just sits right in the middle of those two. Not astrologically, but energetically, it sits between the two of them. You are very, very welcome. And it's a really important point that Jess just made. For readings, I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions around psychic readings. Like, some people they're looking for specific, like, yes or no, or like XYZ is going to happen on this date. That's not always often how readings transpire. Really, the goal is that when I'm in front of somebody, is that I am channeling, I am sharing like whatever it is that they're supposed to be hearing. And for you, it might be like, oh, this is exactly something I've been thinking about that's been weighing on me. And so then it resonates and you're like, thank you. That was validation, or that was like the encouragement that I needed, or that was a suggestion that I needed for a problem I haven't been able to solve. So it's going to slot in differently for different people. But ultimately, we all have our free will. So it's up to you. So Jess could be walking away going, oh, that's nice. Like, that resonated, and then not do anything. And you have every right to do that, because I am never telling anyone, like, do this, do that, do the other thing. There were suggestions that were in the practice, and Jess can, to the best of their ability, try to adhere, try to make adjustments according to that, and see how that goes. And if that works, awesome. If new ideas drop in, great, go with that. Again, we're talking about Cancer, we're talking about intuition. So as long as we're open, reading number 2, open to change. As long as we are open, we're receptive. And then you can have your own insights come in. So whenever you are leaving a reading with an intuitive like myself, you got to the door and you're like, hey, I am interested in receiving information. And it doesn't stop when the reading ends. It stops from me because our session is over. But because you have opened up enough that you're shifting your perspective, you could have things drop in dreams, things drop in through signs or synchronicities, just other kind of like ahas. If you develop your clairs at all, you can have information come in through different intuitive channels. And so it's just keeping an eye out for those, because like you've opened the door a little bit, because you're like, you know what, I really would like guidance. And as long as you remain open, you can receive more. So, yeah. And for people, especially for you, Jess, if you're feeling like really just kind of drained, you might also experience this reading a little bit more, even though it was short. So I always recommend to people after a long reading, but you might find it supportive as well too, like hydrate. Hydrate if it's possible to go to bed early or to get, some extra hours of sleep tonight. Obviously your card said to relax, but this is related, unrelated. When you have the energy of a reading, it can be draining even for the readee, because you are lending your energy to me to tap into. And if you're already kind of like on a low battery situation, then just doing whatever it is that you can to nurture yourself. Again, that is the call of Cancer, is we got to caretake ourselves too.